And here we are. I come back to the back here, as I call gonna be the back pasture. As you can see, it's a long ways away from being a back pasture. You see we got all this leaf litter because we got all these leaves. Don't want to forget earplugs. I'm gonna be leaf blowing. The idea is I'm gonna be leaf blowing, of course, over here. And you got my property, what I'm on, and you have somebody else's property on the other side. So I'm going to turn around and blow the leaves this way, yay far, so that way I can light this on fire and burn all this leaf litter out. And you can see the grasses that are growing. Well, it'll help grow more grass for the pasture. Anyway, put in our earplugs, start our little leaf blower. I'm gonna ride on around, kind of show you what I've done. All these things here I've made as fire breaks, so I can light this side on fire and it perhaps won't burn this side. Well, I have to watch it well when I do it, but and then I didn't necessarily mean to have this corner blocked out, but it'll work okay. This was real thin in leaves, and I just thought I'll just blow it out anyway. As you can see, I've been going around all these trees. Down the property line here, as you can see, I got a stump I got to take out. A lot of these trees, everything here but the cedars leaving or getting taken out. All these. I'm gonna start burning. Let's see. Looks like the wind's kind of coming from this way. Not that there's a bunch. Now I have this here concoction. It's not benzoil. It's gas. And we'll just say woo. Oop. Woo. Now we'll see how good that goes. Guess I'm a little close, huh? Oh, well, right. I'm gonna go ahead and just in case fill this back up. Yeah, I just filled it up, but you never know. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hope you enjoy it so far. If you like it, please help me by subscribing and clicking the like button. Be more to show, I guess. Thank you. Here we go. A little bit more fire action, just getting close to there, you know, but a little bit more. I don't know how well it'll burn, so a lot of this is going out as we go. Basically, I'm out of fuel. These are the places. I can't wait to get it all burnt out. You can see in here, oh, you can see some of these sticks, you know, fallen limbs. It looks pretty clean going out through there, doesn't it? Till you come over to here and say, look at all the crap. See all the deer prints. I'm not saying they don't walk everywhere, because I mean obviously they do, but it's probably just that I'm seeing them now. Get me a drink. As you can see, there's that little yellow sign. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard. I don't know where the camera's pointing, but little orange tag and a little yellow sign there. It's purple on the other side. That's the property line, and basically where that fire is, not basically, where that fire is the other side. You know, little, it's like 5 acres back here, so, you know, it's nothing huge, but nothing to, you know, I mean, it's a lot better than what some people have, and, you know, I just thank the Lord I got what I have what I have. Burning out pretty nice though. If I get this section burnt out, then I only have just this little section there and just that little section there. But you can see now, see all the down sticks. And this is what it'll look like. I need to get some seed over here. But I got, well, like this tree right here is coming out. This pair of trees is coming out. Almost all these except the cedar. And it'd be, so almost this one, all of them over there. That'll open this up a lot, the canopy up a lot. But look at all the acorns. There is a lot of acorns. So there's some decent producers around here. It's a lot of feed. I can't wait to get the fence up and be able to get these pigs back here to eat some of this and, you know, clean some of it up. You know, this will help the turkeys too. The turkey will be able to, you know, see the stuff. I'm gonna turn around and I got some pot aisles to burn. That's always a fun thing, burning piles of leaves and brush. I always think it's always fun to do. This here mixture is some, it's 2 gallons of diesel, 1 gallon of gasoline. I guess it's fairly expensive nowadays, being diesel's almost $5 and gas is almost $4. So kind of some spendy fire starter. Don't know if I really need it. I feel like I got this stuff I want to burn today. I've got this pile of stuff. They're all just green bags that I don't want no more. And I get, oh, I don't know, 10 of these a month. So might as well burn them. Right? It's not a very big pile here. I'm still gonna get rid of it. Tired of the thing kind of being around. I know this pile's getting burnt. Or the hope anyways, this pile's gonna get burnt. To be honest, I probably don't need these sacks at all, but like I said, I want to get rid of them. take my gloves off for this. And we're gonna get them coated in crud. Yeah. All right. Hopefully that gets it started and she don't peter out on me, so to speak. How's the end of that pile of gasoline? It'll be a while before all this. Here, I can put back on my gloves though. It's not super cold. It's like 30 degrees out this morning. It isn't too bad. It actually feels really nice out. But my hands get a little cold. These things are frozen, so that's why some of it's probably hard to start. We'll get to see how this angle on this this video ends up going. Normally I've been wearing this, I don't know what you'd call it, a headband, I guess. One, and I don't know, it doesn't work too bad, but there's a lot of getting used to on this to try and, I don't know, get it all to look fairly decent. Some of the stuff you just can't end up seeing what I'm doing, and it's kind of aggravating, but I'm learning. That's all a person can do, guys, learn. Well, that's kind of how, I don't know, that's since, that would make me head rushies. How this is looking from the last time I made a video back here. Got quite a little bit done. Got quite a little bit cleaned up. It's looking actually quite nice. In here, it didn't looking all that great yet. I still got a bunch of little trees that I'm gonna have to take out, but Just walk around a little bit. Show you what I got going on. Yep, that tree's gonna die this year. Oh well, I mean, it's kind of a nice one, but I didn't like that I'm not shy on trees. Hey, this is looking a lot different. Yeah, I kind of hated that one there to have to go, but I have this one here, I have that one over there, and I have that one there. Guys got to do, and this is a nice one here. So this would probably be better to keep anyway than that one. It's a little older. Then I have, I don't know, there's a bunch of persimmons trees. I believe that's what they are, is persimmon. Maybe this, no, that one's, no, maybe. No, not that one. Oh, they're around here somewhere. Or I think that's what they are. If they're not, they're not. But if they are, you know, hey, so they are. It's not looking too shabby though. A little cleaner than it was last year. When my wife and I cleaned up back here. It's looking really nice though, I think. Hope everybody kind of enjoys this. Anybody that's done this on their own place, they'll know, oh boy, look at the size of that deer track. Not too bad. Anybody that's done this on their own place, they could probably appreciate what's gone on here and can say, you know, yeah, he's probably done a little bit of work, or they've done quite a little bit of work. You know, it isn't all me. Which is true, a lot of work. Oh yeah, this is going nice. But I kind of want to get this out of here because it's a nice place to drive, and you know, whether it kills that tree or not, doesn't matter. I got to cut all these out. I'm cutting all of them out through here. If they don't give me firewood, then that's what's happening. Can't remember what they call it. It's where you like take a rope or like some of this grapevine. That's what I'm going to end up using, is some grapevine and, you know, maybe some galvanized wire or something. And I'm going to hang it from this here tree right here. I ought to turn the other way. The sun's going to be right in everybody's face. Well, I'm going to hang it from this here tree right here. You know, maybe up there somewhere. I don't know. Guess it just depends on where I end up crawling up. Might just hang at this crotch, you know, and hang down here for them to swing around on. I've got the game camera. I don't know where it is. It's over here somewhere. I'm not quite sure where. There it is, on that tree over there. You probably can't see it, but, and as you can tell here, you know, there's tracks all over through here. Deer track. There's a little bit of everything back here. We got turkey, raccoon, coyote, a bobcat. You know, I've seen woodchuck, of course squirrels and rabbits, and pretty near. There's a lot of stuff back here. Turkey, I don't know if I said that, but there's turkey. Last year, the camera caught 20 turkey. I'm assuming it was 2 coyotes, but it, you know, it could have just been one working overtime. But I haven't seen a bobcat in a while. But they're probably around here somewhere still. Oh, that feels good. I guess it's a little colder than I thought out here, to be honest with you, because that feels really good. I'm not quite sure when I get the next chance. I'll be coming over here and cutting down more. No, I'm not cutting these down. They're let me try to think of the name of the darn things. dogwood. Now, I'm not going to cut down the dogwood. Those are a pretty good tree for, the animals to eat on. So I'm leaving every one of those. Well, for the most part. There's some that'll probably end up having to come out. I like this one. I'm not quite sure if it's alive or dead. Oh, I think it's still alive, but it's kind of got some damage on it. Here we go. I don't know if you can see it. It has damage, but it's probably still alive. I'll find out come spring. I guess there's a couple stumps here. That must have been why I put the piles on there. Maybe try to get rid of the stumps. If it gets rid of them, that'd be awesome. If not, I can probably, dig them out, push them out, something. There again, find out at a later date what I'll end up having to do. Ooh, that one's doing good now over here. I don't know if I've explained before what I'm doing out here, but hopefully have some. I don't really need a whole bunch to have goats back here, of course, but and everything here, like these things, these will help grow the goats. Some of these things aren't as good for them. Like those are little oak trees, and they're really not good for them until it's like the spring, and they can eat them off quick. But so I'm kind of getting rid of all these little oak trees. Here's some bee balm. It's kind of nice. I don't know if there's anything in this now or not. Might have dropped all its seeds already. Yeah, I'm sure it probably did, but there's some bee balm. I don't, right this moment, I don't know where it is, but there's gooseberry back here. And of course, blackberry, raspberry. Those are both back here. Like I said, persimmons is back here. course, you know, persimmons and blackberries and the ones I just said, they're all, well, when I say they're wild, there was already some blackberries back here, and we have some, I don't know what I just called them now, but gooseberries up at the house, and I turn around and spread a bunch of seed out here. Later, I don't know if I'll get to it this year. I sure hope so, but over here, over this way, I'm going to put in, on the hill it goes down, I'll put in a elderberry. We've got quite a few elderberry bushes finally, and you know, they're producing quite well. So I want to take some of their seeds because we juice the juice off of them and make jelly, stuff like that. I don't know if anybody's familiar with elderberry, but it's very good juice. It's good for your immune system. Wife and I take, I couldn't tell you exact measurements that we use, but we use elderberry honey and vinegar, and water, of course, but we make, I'll just call it a tonic, I guess. I don't know. We drink it. Oh, we haven't made it in a little while just because we just haven't. There's a lot on our plates, but we had a lot when we harvested the berries. We still got quite a few of them. We still need juice and so forth, but it's really good for colds and so forth. It helps build good immune systems. And in today's day and age, you know, it seems like that could be a much needed deal. You know, I can't remember where it was. It's somewhere on the web I was reading, so take this at a whatever value you want to take it. But I was hearing that eggs, chicken eggs, have some sort of protein or enzyme or something. I don't exactly know what. I'm not necessarily a scientist, so I couldn't tell you, but supposedly there's some sort of enzyme or some crap in it that turns around and it combats COVID, I guess. So, you know, I don't know if anybody's watching this and eating eggs, but, you know, that sounded to me like that's a good thing to maybe eat. We eat quite a bit of eggs. You know, maybe that's why we didn't get COVID, or maybe we got COVID and didn't know because our immune system was well, or all the other junk, the juices and just the other junk that we do. So I couldn't tell you if any one of those helped, but be interesting. It's kind of, you know, I'm not saying I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything, but you know, it kind of makes sense that you know, all these chickens are getting killed. From what I understand, the government's going to facilities and checking for, you know, some sort of bird flu, and the government's actually paying to kill them. So I mean, if you have a bird that has the flu, they reimburse you. It isn't like you're out of any money, but they're killing all the chickens. The ones that are, of course, laying eggs have been hit pretty hard, and you know, it's kind of a nifty thing. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but kind of interesting that you know, some scientist people say that eggs help combat COVID, and yet we're killing all of the chickens that make eggs, and putting another hurting on our food supply. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, chickens seem to get killed all the time, but just kind of an interesting time we're living in. It's just water, if anybody's wanting to know. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, everything that's going on. But I thought maybe you guys might want to know about them eggs and elderberry. They're really good. And you know, if anybody's, you know, I don't know, overweight, or you don't even have to be overweight if you just want to lose some weight. that tonic works really good. In fact, well, I mean, you have to use apple cider vinegar, and it has to have the mother in it. So it has to be real apple cider vinegar. That's, you know, not processed or anything. It's real stuff. And it has to have the mother in it. That makes it alive. And if you drink an ounce a day, it, you know, helps you out. You know, if you're not all tore up yet, it helps you out. It can help your everything. It helps a lot of stuff. It helps your cells get more water in them, and helps your cells hydrate better. You know, I'm not a doctor or anything, so I can't tell you exactly, you know, the honest truth of it, but you know, it makes sense. You know, it makes real sense. You know, it's a natural deal, you know, so, you know, if you turned around and drink that, I know that you will lose weight. I know that you do feel healthier. So like I said, it helps your cells hydrate. I'm kind of I don't know. I want to try to watch what I really say, but I'm maybe not I can tell you what's good, but it isn't like I do it all the time. So I don't always practice what I preach. My wife gets really aggravated at me because, you know, I don't know. I don't care, I guess, you know. So the good Lord wants me. He'll take me whenever he wants me. And so I just try to stay good, I guess, or, I mean, healthy-wise, or I guess I can't even really say that because I love my red meat, and, you know, but I eat a lot of vegetables too, so I don't know. But proportion-wise, yeah, I eat probably way too much beef and French fries, bad stuff. I eat a lot of bad stuff. You know, I like fried foods. I like French fries. It's one of my favorites. I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that likes that stuff. You know, so it isn't nothing for me to eat. Well, if I'm not eating a French fry, it's going to be a baked potato, and if it's not a baked potato, it's going to be a mashed potato, and it's pert near every meal. Pert near every meal. You know, it's in, well, unless I make chili or something, I don't put potatoes in my chili. So I guess that's a fib. I fib. I don't eat it every meal. But I think chili is the only kind of soup that it doesn't have it in it. But I don't think potatoes are too harmful on you. I guess I don't really know. Then again, I don't really care. I'm going to eat them anyway. Yeah, I should have put on that darn snow blade. Then I could have pushed this pile over on the top of this. I might have to go home and grab it, you know, to burn these leaves off. I gotta push it over on it. This one's probably not gonna burn. It's a green one, so that's probably not gonna do real well. I even hear the government was kind of coming down on private citizens on their eggs and chickens, wanting to know if people would let them into their yards. I mean, nobody showed up at my house asking, but to, you know, test the birds and make sure they're not sick. And, you know, as I see it, I don't know, I sound bad, but yeah, I don't think they really, a lot of times the government is, I don't have much faith in them right this moment. Doing a lot of silly things, in my opinion. I don't think our rights are kind of getting stomped, not kind of, they're getting stomped on. and I don't quite appreciate that. I'm a believer in the Second Amendment, high believer in the Second Amendment. In fact, I think anybody that doesn't believe in the Second Amendment, I don't believe they'd be a true American. And they should probably, I don't know, leave. Not to sound harsh or anything, but, you know, my wife and I was talking about this the other day. And I was saying, I'm not, granted, I like to hunt, but that is not why I like guns at all. One, they're pretty, and they are, I like them for that reason, for one, but two, I don't believe the Second Amendment had anything to do with hunting at all. And I believe it's a disservice when we, the people, or our representatives, even include that into the whole argument on why we need to have a gun. Our Second Amendment, I probably could be wrong, but if we think about how, when they wrote that, they weren't really caring about people hunting. I mean, we got to remember, we had wolves in this area, in our United States, and elk all over, and you know, we hunted the living snot out of these things. So we made up new rules on hunting long after the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment was, it was all about, you know, keeping our government in check. And you know, anybody that says, you know, we need to get rid of guns, I don't believe they're for America. I think they're against America. And that's all there is to it. They're against America because, you know, we don't want to be Russia. We don't want to be North Korea or any of the other areas in this world where the government has major control. Think of the Mexicans. Now, I'm not gonna, you know, I love Mexicans, so don't, anybody that's a Mexican that's listening to me, please don't think that I don't like Mexicans, but think of the Mexicans. It was a long time ago. I couldn't exactly tell you who invaded them now. I can't really remember, and it's besides the point, but the Mexicans said they killed everybody. You know, they had guns and so forth, and let's say some European nation, you know, somewhere over the other side of the ocean, they wanted to, and it could have been the Spaniards for all I know, for all I remember, but they wanted to whoop on the Mexican people, and the Mexican people were a lot less forgiving than, let's say, how we kind of are acting right now, and they killed everybody. And the people that were invaded stayed on their boats and said, holy mackerel, they don't care. They kill everybody. And there's no such thing as, you weren't living. That's all there was to it. If you were there, you weren't living. If you weren't a Mexican, you weren't, well, if you're an invader, you weren't gonna live. But the government of Mexico got scared and said, whoa, our people here, you know, didn't have any mercy on these enemies, and they killed them, and no mercy. And it scared them, and they said, hey, we don't want you to have guns. We don't want you to have these things anymore. And now look at the state they're in. I feel very bad for them people, because now they have bad people that are running around with guns, and I won't say own the city, but own cities or run the cities, and just are really bad people to these people. And you know, there's not a lot they can do, you know, because they have no way to help protect themselves against these outlaws. And if they would have been, let's say, like us, they might not have got overrun as bad. I mean, look at it here. You got governors or mayors that are getting rid of guns, and the outlaws are, I'm not going to say taking over, because they're not taking over yet, but they're taking over basically. And the people are having a heck of a time. And you know, it's just really bad. So that's my deal on guns, just so everybody knows. And I think it's a disservice for anybody to turn around and say anything about a hunting gun, make it about hunting, because hunting's a whole different thing. And when they made the Constitution and made the Second Amendment, they said right to bear arms. They didn't say right to bear rifles. They didn't, or muskets, or any of that. They had arms. And at that time, there was lots of people that had boats, that had cannons, which is some of the biggest arms that in the day that we had. And so, per se, I don't even think that stuff should be. I think we should still be that way. You know, especially armed for sure with small caliber for sure. I think everybody should own a gun. Everybody. But you take the governments like Russia or North Korea or China. We're kind of like the Mexican people. You know, it might come to that day where China or Russia or all of them, for all I know, want to think about invading us. I don't believe they will. I mean, just because, you know, there's a bunch of people that, well, we outnumber our military. People outnumber the military, and you know, I guess us people, we'd be kind of like the Mexican people. You know, the military has to follow rules and laws, military laws, or Geneva Convention laws, or whatever, where, you know, normal folks don't have to. We don't have them rules. We're people. We're not an army, so we don't have to follow army rules. You know, like, so I think, you know, that's where, let's say, the armies wouldn't know what to do. They probably wouldn't like it. And then you figure this way, we're a nation of hunters. So our ammunition is mainly, well, not mainly, you know, because there's a lot of ammunition. It's not hollow points, but is hollow point. So, you know, I don't know if anybody has seen what, you know, a hollow point does to an animal, but, you know, it allows them not to suffer too much. And, you know, so take a gun that, you know, a normal guy has, and he loads up his deer rifle, and, you know, because most people, that's what they have. They just have regular guns, you know, even the M16 or the AR-15 or whatever you want to call it, where they're calling it an assault rifle. I mean, come on, please. That's not an assault rifle. I don't even know if there's such a thing, you know. It's kind of just a made-up name, I believe. But I don't think, you know I wouldn't want to get shot with a hollow point. I mean, there might not be no coming back to that from that. I mean, you know, that's a good bullet. You know, you get shot in the leg with a military round, and it's just going to go through, because, you know, if you pay attention to what how should I say it? Because a ton of people die in wars. But the weapons used for wars aren't necessarily for killing people. Okay? They do kill people. And you do, as an army man, kill people and shoot at people. And since you're in the war, you don't necessarily shoot to wound. So, but the bullets, you know, they're not hollow points. They're designed to go through you, to do damage, but not blow the living snot out of you. Whereas, you know, you go to shoot a deer or a coyote or something like that, and you want that bullet to do maximum damage. You want it to kill it. That's what you really want to do when you're hunting. You want to kill it. And I think that'd be one heck of a mistake for somebody to invade our country with, you know, rounds like that, you know, I'd hate to get shot in the leg with a, like I said, get shot in the leg with a freaking hollow point. That'd be pretty dangerous there, you know, for a person's body. But, you know, I think anybody, like I said, I think anybody that believes we should get rid of guns are retarded. I think they're retarded, and I don't think they're American. I think they're foolish. I think that they are delusional. I think that they're fearful because they're not a proud people. They are scared. They're not a type of person that would, let's say, stick up for themselves. They'd be a type of person that, you know, just rolls over. And so I don't, you know, you take, let's say, my house, you probably, well, I wouldn't say you probably wouldn't want to come in my house unasked. I would say that would be that'd be a very dangerous thing to do. I'm not very far away ever from a firearm. So, and I'm not the only one in this country. I mean, there's lots of people that, you know, sleep with them and so basically live with them, you know, they're right there all the time. So, I mean, it could still happen, you know, somebody could, I guess, well, I don't know. He couldn't break in even when a guy was sleeping, or me anyway. I mean, it could happen. It'd be really silly to do it. It wouldn't make it very far. I know that. I mean, they'd make it in the house, that's for sure, but other than that, they'd be staying in the house. Or fleeing, but they probably would stay. But so our government turning around and making a big whoop-de-doo about, as they call, assault rifles, or it's went beyond that now. Now it's semi-automatic rifles or pistols or whatever, semi-automatic. And it's funny, half the people, I don't know, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that single shot. You know, that bolt action, that pump gun, you know, I don't mind that at all. I mean, a gun's a gun. Every one of them, you know, does a nice thing. I mean, you can shoot lots of stuff. Doesn't really matter, you know. But it sure is nice to have that semi-automatic. Not that it's a big deal to reload a bullet, but you know, that animal's running, or doesn't really matter. You know, it's not the government's deal to stop us from having our weapons, if that's what you want to call them. They're a protection device. Even these so-called assault rifles, they're something to go hunting with and protect ourselves with, and do whatever else we want to do with them. Target practice, whatever we want to do with them. You know, obviously all these gun owners that are out here aren't shooting down planes or killing people. It's the people that are deranged. And it's, some of that, I don't even think they're deranged. I think they just want to, you know, be known the rest of their lives. I mean, you got to think about this. A lot of these people that do this are never going to be forgotten. They're going to be talked about probably forever. And, you know, our government just uses this to their advantage. Stupid people, well, I can't really say stupid. It's just uneducated people are the ones that are scared of regular weapons. You know, people made a big deal about you know, teachers having guns and so forth. And, you know, I'm not that old. I'm 53 years old. And so that's really not that old. And when I was in grade school, I I had lots of friends. I grew up in the Midwest, and we went hunting all the time. We hunted for whatever was in season. You know, so I mean, it was bird season, rabbit season, deer season, coyote season. It didn't matter what it was. We hunted everything. You know, and when you weren't old enough to drive or anything like that, you know, you still went to your friend's house. So friends would come over to my house, or I'd go over to my friend's house, and most generally we'd be able to walk from wherever there to go to hunting areas, or where we were going to go hunting or fishing or whatever. And you know, we all through my high school, as soon as I got a vehicle, there wasn't a day that there wasn't a rifle and a shotgun and possibly a pistol in my vehicle. Didn't matter if I was driving a car, pickup, didn't matter what I was in. We had a gun, and didn't matter if it was summer or winter. Didn't matter. We'd ride when we picked corn or beans or plowed or disced or anything in the fields. We had a rifle, and because heck, there's stuff you can shoot. You know, I mean. But heck, we'd take them to school. You know, I had friends that lived in town, and they just bring their rifle to school and stick it in their locker, and after school they'd bring it on the school bus, and there we were for the weekends, you know. And my mom or their mom or dad or somebody would pick them back up or drop them off, or however it went, to get them back home. But you know, to start out the weekend, and you know, when people spent the night, you know, you got to get your fishing poles or whatever. You know, it wasn't uncommon at all. And all through high school, I had a knife on me. I mean, I've had a knife in my pocket since I was probably, I don't know, 8, 9 years old probably. And very, very rarely do I ever leave home without them. I mean, I've got what I consider my good knife, which when I will say I dress up or go to town with, you know, when I dress up, or nice clothes anyway, I have my good knife. Right at this moment, I don't have my good knife on me because it's just a regular old, but it's just, you know, all through high school. And I literally had teachers that would turn around and say, "Ooh, I need to open something." I don't know. I've had, I don't know how many teachers say, "Hey, Todd, let me have your pocket knife, and so I can open up whatever it is I want to open up." And would say, "Sure, here you go." So it's kind of weird that nowadays, you can't do that. And I couldn't tell you exactly why. Maybe it's just the way that my generation was raised, maybe. I don't know. I just can tell you that I had it all the time. My friends, I don't know. I think, well, not even just my friends. I can't say everybody in high school had a gun or a knife on them, because, you know, of course, there's some people that didn't. But there was not just me. I wasn't the only gun, knife toting person in high school. Not that I took my gun into high school much, you know, because when I got into high school, I could drive, and so I had wheels. I saved up my money when I was, my first car I had when I was 12. I bought a car, and, you know, I don't know, I think by the time I turned 13, I'd done flipped it and sold it and bought another vehicle. And by the time I turned 14, maybe it might have been 15, I had what I'll consider my first legal car. And, you know, by the time I was 15, I had a pickup and a car. A pickup, a car, and a couple motorcycles or mini bikes or whatever you want to call them. And they're dirt bikes, so I guess you really couldn't call them motorcycles, so maybe more of a mini bike / it was dirt bikes. And Yeah, that was, I don't know. I don't know what to think about people today. People are, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. The things people say that offends me is, I don't even know what to think of them people. It's like, too bad, it's some of that's just ridiculous. I don't quite understand it at all. Just really weird. I don't understand it. I mean, people get offended over some of the stupidest crap that, and then you got, let's say, this YouTube that'll turn around and, take you off, or the internet, or take you off their deal, or take, people and not let them speak, and, because it's offensive, I guess. And in the meantime, I think to myself, it's funny the things that people will call offensive, and yet they're not held accountable. And it's like, if it's offensive for one, then by God, maybe they shouldn't be doing what they're saying or doing, because it could be offensive to somebody. I mean, if somebody wants to say they could be offended by things, everybody could be offended. The difference of being offended is saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never harm me. Because I grew up, like I said, in a different time where, I guess I could just say people were tough, I guess. People didn't whine and cry about being teased, I guess, or I don't know how to even say what I think, I guess, because it's just really kind of appalling of the things that people get offended over, because it's just retarded. It's like, good God, grow up maybe, or toughen up, or, but like I said, I grew up in a different time. When I was a kid, I guess I could say I was a hellion. I was a boy, and did, I guess, hellion stuff, crazy stuff, whatever it was. But when my dad, I used to get whooped, and when I mean I'd get a spanking, I mean, there wasn't none of this standing in the quarter crap. It was, you knew for days, you knew that wasn't any fun. And funny thing is even though I would get, let's say, disciplined in a way that you didn't forget about it, I mean, sometimes that pain lingered on a little bit when you'd get whooped. But my dad used to say, where, let's say you were gonna get paddled, or get the belt, or whatever anybody wants to say, or how they want to say it. My dad would say, you couldn't cry. And I know that's one of these things these people are going now, men should cry, men should show their feelings. Well, I don't know about that. I think that's another reason why we're at where we're at, because women think men need to show their feelings. We're not girls. Girls can go stand there and bawl and say whatever. Men only cry or bawl when something really bad's happened. And that's possible. It's a possibility that could happen. Men are different than women. And that's another thing, like I said, I think people are trying to turn men into women. But my dad used to say, he didn't say it all the time, because, you already knew. When you'd get whooped, you had to suck it up. I mean, when I mean it, when you get the belt, it isn't nothing that you would, you know, you didn't like it at all. It hurt. And you could tear up. I mean, because, you know, I mean, heck, you know, you can only handle so much, you know. But you could not cry. You could not. And I tell you what, I'm not saying, I mean, you know, I used to get really, I didn't like it at the time. Used to think, good God, why, that's really bad. You know, I mean, that hurt really good. I didn't, of course, going to learn my lesson because I'm a boy and not all that bright, I guess. But I am so glad that that's how my father treated me. And because per se, somebody could say, oh, you're a ugly SOB, and I really don't care. Don't harm me one bit. You know, you get hit yourself with a hammer, and yeah, you may hoop and holler and cuss, but you're not crying. You're not anything. And you talk about being able to eat some pain and not really care. And there's probably a lot of, I'll say, real men out there that are probably like that, you know, and say, you know, I don't, you know. And there's probably, when I had my boys, I raised them the same way. You know, I mean, I'm not saying that people got beat on, you know. I'm not saying, you know, my dad would just say, piss on it, there's that kid, I'm gonna whoop on him for a while, you know. And I'm not saying that didn't happen either, but I'm just saying that's not what I'm meaning, you know. We went from a society that said, hey, you shouldn't abuse your kids, meaning the person that says, literally, I see my kid and I'm gonna whoop their butt, whether they did anything or nothing. We went from a society that said, this is bad, to a society that said, you shouldn't even spank your kid. And now we have a society that not only do they don't get spanked, but you just say, you're a dumbass, and they're bawling. This is funny. I think it's funny. I mean, it's hilarious. I don't even know what to think of them people. It's crazy. It's really crazy. You know, to say, wow, what a wuss. You know, and think to myself, these people today, they'd have never survived when I was a kid. Never. I mean, even in my school, just growing up, would have never survived. These kids today never would have survived. You know, it's crazy. Even our most wussiest kid in school was 10 times tougher than their toughest today. Well, I can't say they're toughest, because there's a lot of kids out there, a lot of people that are still like me and anybody else that can relate to what I say. There's still a lot of people, or there's still kids out there like that today. So I can't say everybody, but so I can't say the toughest, but maybe you know what I mean. I don't know. Like I said, it's just, some of that's just insane to me to say, wow, you are triggered by something that doesn't even matter. You know, I just find some of this just so hilarious. I watch these people on the internet and go, oh my God. It's funny. Just so funny. You know, and I don't know what to say. Sissies. They're just sissies. You know, and I think that's another thing, you know. I mean, maybe that's there again how I was when I was a kid, you know. You're a boy. You did not want to be a sissy. So I don't mean just me. I mean, I would say everybody when I was a kid. No boy wanted to be a sissy. No boy wanted to be like a little girl. No boy was like that. I mean, you could literally get your ass whooped and you weren't crying. People were tough. You know, and good God, the women, or girls, because when I was in high school, they wouldn't be women. The women or the girls are tougher then than they are now. I mean, there again, there's another amazing thing. Well, women say, you know, march around saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not, when I say women are strong, you know, but not these girls today. No offense to these girls today, because not all, but most are just worthless. They think that they're just something special, and they are not. Everybody is crazy. Not everybody, but a lot of people are just stupid. They're stupid. Most retarded things I've ever seen in my life, some of these people. Know what I need to do? I need to go get that darn snowblade and go put it on, because I need to push these leaves up over and start getting piles burning up, and I'll never get them done that way. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw this on there. I don't need it. I probably got 50 more better at home, and not only on top of that, I got more that I'll be getting rid of in the next few days. And well, I just made green, so maybe not the next few days, but I don't need them. I'll go ahead and load all this crud up and swap out some stuff, and so I can get a snowplow on. So I'm gonna shut everybody off here. Well, I'm at 27% anyway. Oh wow, this baby's warm. That's kind of amazing. Wow. This is a GoPro, and wow, I've never felt it before. Good grief, it's cold out here today. It's just hot almost. Yeah, this is what the people were talking about, how they could be junk. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill this for today, and there you go. That's what I got done doing. Next time you see it, those won't be there. So thanks for watching, guys, people. Love y'all, and all the real patriots out there. Stay safe.